Now, over the last few years, I've been reviewing 3 special livery Southwest Airlines models, but in all that time, I've also had this standard livery Southwest Airlines model, but I never got around to review it until today. So with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we, as mentioned, will take a closer look at a Boeing 737-700 of Southwest Airlines. At the front of the box, we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life, and underneath that we find the Southwest Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box, we have the same image once more. We are then provided with the original dimensions of the aircraft and some additional information. So that's it for the box. Let's take a closer look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Boeing 737-700 in the former standard livery of Southwest Airlines. This is, however, the last iteration of a standard livery model from Southwest Airlines that Herpa has produced in scale 500, which is a shame because I know we are quite a few collectors who would love to see Herpa make new Southwest Airlines models, but that is something that will not happen in the near future, if at all. That much Herpa made clear in a live stream on Instagram. So since we won't get any new Southwest Airlines models, we don't really have much choice other than to look back into the year 2010 when Herpa produced this aircraft model. So let's see what it has to offer. And if you look here at the tail section, we can see we have the Southwest Airlines branding printed on. On the fuselage, we then find the full registration code of the aircraft, and towards the very tail of the aircraft, we notice that there are no details around the APU exhaust. This is, however, rather normal for Herpa Wings models of that time period. At the front of the aircraft, we notice we don't really have any branding or something. That's because this livery of Southwest Airlines didn't really have any noticeable branding except on the tail of the aircraft. So we are left with no other details than those we get around the cockpit section. And well, that's just the cockpit windows and nothing else. And unfortunately, it is not really getting any better when we look at the engine nacelles that do have the color scheme of the airline and the silver leading edge printed on. But again, here, that's it for printed details. The physical detailing is the standard that we would have expected from Herpa Wings in 2010. It looks better today, but it is still pretty decent overall. Above the wings, we do find the emergency exit has been printed on. What a relief. And that leads us straight to the wings, which we should also take a closer look at. Here we can see the different flap slats and spoilers have been carved out fairly nicely, but we don't have any other printed details here. But I do quite like the colored pylons. I think they look rather nice, and those we can of course also see here from the underside of the wings, which I think also have a decent amount of physical detailing. The landing gear is the standard landing gear that Herpa used back in 2010 for all their 737s. That means rather oversized wheels on the main landing gear. The front landing gear itself looks okay, but better in more recent releases. What the model, however, has in common with models from today is that Herpa also here hasn't added any printed details. And then last but not least, we do have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 737-700 in the former standard livery of Southwest Airlines from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? I know that I often complain about Herpa leaving out crucial details in their print, but the lack of details on this aircraft model does kind of set a new standard. And I know, of course, it's not a new aircraft model, it is from 2010, but even for 2010 levels, the amount of details we have on this aircraft model is rather bare-boned. I mean, they, for example, forgot to add the US flag on the vertical stabilizer. I mean, that's not even a detail of the aircraft type itself, but just part of the livery. And since the aircraft model doesn't seem to have much else to offer other than the livery itself, then I would say it becomes even more important that Herpa also nails that down. And in my opinion, I would say the coloring is a tad oversaturated, especially when I compare it to the aircraft in real life. Of course, it's always a question of light, and also in this case, how the camera actually interprets colors. But I would still say that the model seems a tad oversaturated. And yes, the mold is also not very nice, and the same goes for the landing gear, but with those details I am a bit more lenient because that's just the standard Herpa had in 2010. So taking all that into account and trying not to judge an aircraft model because it is an old aircraft model and today's are just better, I still have to say that if it wasn't for the fact that it has the standard Southwest livery, and we have no other options to get that in scale 500, I honestly would not recommend anyone to buy it. So I guess it just proves a point. We desperately need an updated version of this. So Herpa Wings, JC Wings, NG models, whoever is out there, please make an updated version for us, because I know there are many collectors who would love to see that. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very nice. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.